Hello, lovely people. How are you? We are heading into autumn. It's surprisingly warmer today in Melbourne. We've had cold weather. But today I want to talk about give me a break. So often when we use that phrase, give me a break, it's usually because we're wanting to respond to something that's frustrating to us, or we're responding in disdain, or we responding to something we don't agree with. So that expression, give me a break, is thrown out there. But I actually want to use it today in the context of us, of you giving yourself a break. And I suppose I'm talking on the topic because I'm fresh off a break. I had a long weekend away in a beautiful seaside village called Queenscliff. My daughter had organized that as a birthday present. I had my birthday last month in March, and as a gift, my daughter had organized a weekend away for us. It was super cold in Queenscliff, so we had one of the coldest weekends apparently that we've had in Melbourne at this time of year. It is autumn. It was really cold in Queenscliff, kind of wintry. It didn't even feel like autumn. It felt like winter. But having said that, I was really happy to have the break. So I've tamed the workaholic in me, and I hope many of you have too. But every now and again, that beast rears its head and has me on a path of working long hours. And that's often when I'm trying to meet client deadlines. I do sometimes have a problem saying no to people. So sometimes I bite off more than I can chew. And then I end up working these long hours for days in a row. But there's a price to pay for that, right? If we don't take time out, we end up going through stress, physical stress, mental stress, spiritual stress. So what I did this weekend was I only answered one email while I was away, and it was to respond to a friend who I had reconnected with after a long time. And then I left the computer alone. I did take the computer with me, but I decided to actually leave it alone. And I'm really glad I did that. My parents had come away with us for the weekend, so it was really fabulous to be able to just spend time with them, watch the puppy. We took the puppy with us, watch her frolic on the beach. And she was funny to watch because she was quite keen on going near the water. But as soon as she got to the part where the waves were starting to come in, she would run away from the waves. So it was really amusing to watch that, but really joyful as well. Some of the benefits of taking time out. You'll reset yourself mentally. So nothing can lead to an anxiety attack faster than working a gazillion days nonstop. And so even taking one day off can reset your body, can reset your mind, can reset your focus, right? And can particularly help with balancing stress. Because I don't know about you, but I know that when I'm stressed and I just keep working, the stress kind of compounds and piles up one on the other. And then before I know it, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm becoming short-tempered, all of those things. And none of which is really great for our relationships or anything like that. I also find for me is you feel more productive when you return. So since I've come back, able to just start going again, having had those 4 or 5 days of relaxing and not worrying about work and not answering emails and not really bothered about the phone or anything like that, but just spending time out in nature, just eating really good food and having lots of laughs and playing games. We played Monopoly, cards and all of those things around the kitchen table. We did stay indoors a lot because it was so cold, but we did use that time to just have fun with each other, talk, discuss politics, get fired up about all kinds of things, take a moment to respect the passing of Prince Philip, who obviously died last Friday, and that was all over the news over the weekend. So we had our moment of just, thinking about his great life and his great service to the British public. So, what I'm saying is you feel more productive when you take that time out. I certainly have noticed that I'm feeling more focused, ready to get going again without feeling that kind of anxiety or stress, like I have to finish this, I must finish this, I need to do this. It's just like, okay, I've reset, refocused, got my plan, I've got my task, and I'm just going to work my way through that slowly. Taking time out also helps you remember who you are. We are people with broad interests and broad hobbies, but sometimes when we're working, or I find for me personally when I'm working, I stay so focused on that I forget that there are other things that matter to me. There are other things that are important. There are other things that make me feel good. And I'm sure it's the same for a lot of other people. Sometimes we can get caught up in work, and then we forget the little things that give us pleasure, or even the big things. For some people, I know people who love to go sailing. I know people who love hiking. I love writing. I love hiking. I love being out in nature. I love having fun time with the puppy, just watching her in absolute amusement. But when I'm working and I'm really caught up in work, and I'm doing those days where I've done gazillion hours off one after the other, only breaking to really have sleep and to eat, I do notice that I end up kind of forgetting some of the things that really matter to me. Some of the things that really hold my interest, that has got nothing to do with work, that has got everything to do with pure enjoyment or pure pleasure or pure fun. The other thing I find taking a break does, it rekindles relationships. So as I said, we had my parents with us, but even just laughing together, my daughter, my partner, my parents, just being in that vibe of having good company and being fully present to your relationships and disagreeing on certain things and giggling about other things and all of these things. It's really special and it's really important. And so I think it's really important for us to remember to take the time out, to give ourselves a break, to have time with our significant others, to take the girls and guys night out with friends. If you're not doing that, you need a reality check, because work is incredibly important. We know that. We use, it brings us the money, the finances to pay the bills. But it's also important for our mental health to work on our relationships and to make sure we have strong relationships. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if we don't have anyone to share our good fortunes with, or the incomes that our long working hours bring, then what's it all really for? What's it all really for? And then one of the other things I've found, the other benefit, is that it resets your focus. Sometimes we can go to the office or we can do our work out of pure habit or necessity. Time off helps you refocus and reconnect to what matters to you. It also helps you to refocus your perspective on maybe a challenge that you're having. Sometimes we can be working through something, it's challenging, we simply keep going, we keep working through it, but then we don't really get the perspective that can help us resolve that challenge. But sometimes when you take a break away from it, like I find even just getting up and going away from my desk has helped. So imagine if you see the benefit of what getting up and walking away from your desk does. Imagine the benefit if you take a day off, a long weekend off, a week off. So my advice, my final words on this topic is give yourself a break, and not in that response to a disdainful response, or in response to something annoying you. Give yourself a break so that you can feel mentally, spiritually, physically recharged, and can continue to bring your best to the people you work with, to the people you live with, to the people you have relationships with. Taking time out, giving yourself a break has a huge benefit for you and for the ones you hold dear. So I'm giving you permission. If you're not giving you permission, I'm giving you permission to go give yourself a break. And as always, have a wonderful day. Bye for now.